What's up? What's up, everybody? This is Alvin Louie from Courage is a Habit. Welcome to Courage After Dark. We're so excited to be back, and we've got some fun stuff to cover tonight. Relevant things, as always. We always cover things that are relevant. We'll talk about the midterm virus. We'll talk about how your education system has prepared a generation for this midterm virus, and we'll give you some examples. It's going to be very eye-opening because when we talk about a lot of these things in schools, we talk about it in the policy and in the macro, and then we want to show it to you in the micro. So share this live stream because we are going to show you things that you probably won't see anywhere else because we like to give you the receipts. But tonight I am joined by my beautiful co-founder, which she doesn't always join me. And so when I get her to come in, it's going to be a really fun time. So what's up?
What's going on? Yep. We're going to give you things you never see before.
Yeah, always. Always. How are you? I love that you can join me on Courage After Dark because
I love being here.
I can't always get you on here. So this is awesome when it's so much fun for me when you hop on.
I love being here. But you did right before you brought me on, you took my role because I was going to come on and impress you and be like, everybody, please share this live stream.
You can still do that throughout the whole live stream. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
That's the challenge is can you remember that when you get going?
We'll see by the end of it.
Yeah. So that's the challenge. So no, everybody share this live stream. Welcome YouTube, Facebook, X, and then wherever else if people are streaming there. So this is Jennifer McWilliams. We are Courage is a Habit. All right.
And we're after dark.
We're after dark. Yes, after dark. Kind of. No, not exactly. It's summertime. Close enough. Let's see. All right. Some housekeeping. I am wearing Jennifer McWilliams's first line here from her is to Courage is Hot. And we've got hoodies for women and for unisex, and I'm wearing unisex ones, a navy one. So to support our mission, to support us being able to spread our tools and our tactics, grabbing something from our store, it's a huge support for us. And you get some really cool, comfortable merch like our Embrace Exclusion hat or an Embrace Exclusion t-shirt. Our enemies love it. They hate it. They
Deport
love
white
it.
woke women.
You know what though, guys? The deport woke white women. I'm telling you, that is that. You know what? I was like, oh, is everyone going to be brave enough to wear that? But people are buying it. People are buying it. The deport woke white women. I swear I'm going to make that a campaign. Deport woke white women.
It's hilarious.
Oh, it's so good. So hit our store, grab a hoodie, grab a t-shirt. It's probably not going to be hoodie because it's summertime, but grab a hat, grab a t-shirt. It supports our mission. So courageisahabit.org/store. And we've got some great creator t-shirts, very, very comfortable. Everything's comfortable because Jen cannot stand even a little bit material. So she has to try all the stuff. And so
it's high quality and it washes well. That is like one of my biggest
pet peeve.
annoyances when I buy something, especially if I want to support something, a message, an organization or whatever, and then you wash it once and then I'm like, okay, my child can have it because it shrinks or whatever. So
no shrinking, no boxy t-shirts, no uncomfortable, lays on you good. And the things that we wear, right? I mean, I wear it all the time. If you guys see me on the shows, you see me wear our stuff all the time. So I'm, it's not like we're just selling stuff, but the Embrace Exclusion hat is so great. It is such a good conversation starter. I love wearing the Embrace Exclusion hat. The one I'm wearing right now, you can't buy it. The one I'm wearing right now is going to be a limited edition, and we'll be releasing it soon here in a limited window. But all the other Embrace Exclusion hats you can get, the vintage and the trucker hats. But of course, my favorite has got to be the Deport Woke White Women. The Deport Woke White Women it's just, I love it. I love it so much. So share this message. Hit our store. Here, I will. Look at this. Who can't love this? Look at this. Deport woke white women. Look at that.
So good.
On a woke white woman, just to let you know, just to let you see it,
we put it on a woke white woman.
We put it on a woke white woman. Just to
see, we are not like the rest.
Got a black one. We got the white one. I mean, yeah, we got the extra large, but most people that support us will not buy that, the extra large. So, the Deport Woke White Women is great. I love these t-shirts. These, we have all kinds of colors for the Embrace Exclusion.
Yeah, great quality, like I said.
And our Embrace Exclusion hat. So share this live stream, hit that store, support us. All right. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
I know you are. All right. Let's hit this. Okay. Right off the bat, we want to show you something here. Now, those of you who follow us are probably pretty familiar with how crappy Virginia is. The state, their schools, Loudoun County, Fairfax County, they are constantly on the news. They just had another transgender weirdo taking pictures of students, sexual assaults, cover-ups, pornography in schools. The Fairfax and Loudoun County in Virginia is just among the worst. They're always in the news. One of the reasons why they're so bad is because the American School Counselor Association, ASCA, who, if you follow us, you support us, you know how much we hit the school counselors. Their headquarters is in Virginia, and that is not a coincidence.
No. No, and all of these schools are ramp status, of course. Which we have covered and we have a tool about. And so they have achieved the highest level of the standards of the American School Counselor Association. And this is what you get when that happens.
RAMP is RAMP. It's basically just you do indoctrination. You just do it the best. Yeah. That's really what that means. You got the ASCA says you doing it so good. You're doing it better than anybody else. And we give you a stamp. It's called RAMP, RAMP. And yeah, all their schools are RAMP, of course. But the story we want to share today out of Fairfax is A school board chair. Now I'm going to say this really slowly because no one's going to believe me. A school board chair by the name of Carl Frisch. Okay. This weird, fat looking, bald headed guy took an oath during his swearing in when he was a school board member, a school board chair. And he swears on a pile of queer pornographic smut books.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
Children smut books. Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. But here he is. And the books are Genderqueer, Lawn Boy, Flamer, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and All Boys Aren't Blue. All pornographic, transgender, disgusting books. This is the pile of books this guy and these people had him swear on when he got sworn in as a school board chair.
We'll pause for reaction. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Even Jen and I see stuff every day. This is them, the school district, telling you parents, we know you're not going to do anything. Mm-hmm. We know you're just going to keep sending your kids to us. And we're going to rub this in your face. We're going to swear on a pile of pornographic books, transgender, queer books. And there's not a damn thing you're going to do about it because you're just going to keep sending your children to us. That's what this means. Now, for those of you who might be going, well, this is a travesty. This is horrible. This happened in December 2023.
23. Yep.
December 2023. So he's a school board chair every day. Thousands and thousands of kids go through that school district. Millions of kids go through that school district. No, not millions, probably, tens of thousands of kids go through that school district. Fairfax is huge, right? Mm-hmm. So our question is, parents, what is the line for you? And this is a very serious question. We're talking about pornographic books, blowjobs, anal sex. I mean, the stuff that stuff that if you tried reading this at your work, you would get written up or fired on the spot.
Yep. These
books, Genderqueer, Lawn Boy. In fact, if you guys want to see some of it, if you go to courageisahabit.org, I'll show you exactly where. If you go to courageisahabit.org, and click on collections. Click on collections and go down to obscene books. We've got some of them. We've got the Genderqueer. We've got All Boys Aren't Blue. This is what this sexual deviant, these groomers, are swearing on to swear this guy in.
Mm-hmm. So what are they swearing? What are they swearing? They're swearing, first of all, that they're going to demoralize you parents, because what are you going to do about it? Right. Second of all, they're swearing to radicalize and sexualize your children. I mean, how else could you take that?
Yeah, there is no other way to take it. Here's the Genderqueer book. And everybody's at some point seen this, I'm sure, if you're following us and anybody else. So these are the books. Like I said, if you went and you read this book out loud at your place of work, okay, you would get fired. He knew what to expect. I didn't. As an avid porn watcher, the only thing I knew about anal sex previously was that it was painful, or at least played up as such on the cameras. He got on top and slowly inserted himself into me. It was the worst pain I ever felt. He then added more lube and tried again. If you went up and read this to your coworker, you would get fired on the spot. So this guy is swearing in this school board chair. So our question for you parents, and I mean specifically this school district, because they've gone this far. So our question is, what's your line? What's the line? So There's nothing that we can do at Courage is a Habit. We can't, there's nothing we can infiltrate. We can infiltrate something. We can bring you back a training. We can say, this is how they're training your teachers. Defending Education can file lawsuits, and it does exposures, which they do an amazing job on. They do great reporting. Our friends at Defending Education. Nikki can file 150 lawsuits and win them all. Nothing is more in your face than what they did here with a school board chair swearing on a pile of queer smut porn books. So,
what's it going to take? Look, we have, ever since we came on the scene, we have stood up and understand that pulling children for a lot of families can be very difficult. We understand that. We're sympathetic to that. And so I know there are people out there that just say, oh, everyone just get your kids out. That's all but we understand that's not as easy for many parents as it is for some. We understand that. But at some point, right? At some point, when do you say it doesn't matter anymore? Whatever I have to do, I am not going to subject my children to this type of abuse, because that's what it is. Look, when people swear an oath on to take office, a lot of times people do it on the Bible. That's because that's their belief system. That's their foundation. They have these morals. This guy is swearing on a stack of porn books that was written for children that is in the school. It's so where's the line? At what point, are you going to say enough's enough? Because like Alvin said, organizations and attorneys and Trump's executive orders can only do so much.
Right. If you kept your child at home, as long as now, when we're talking about this, what they're doing here with the porn and setting your child up, it goes beyond even that emotional brainwashing, which is what we talk about a lot, that mental brainwashing, that emotional discipleship. And, obviously we talk about that a lot. Your child is physically in danger. They're setting them up with all these transgender lunatics. You've got all these groomers, these sexual predators in schools. They're grooming your children to be ready to be sexually abused. Not to mention the violence in school because of restorative justice. So when we say, where's the line? We're not even saying, well, maybe if you raise them right, maybe they won't get brainwashed. We're talking about their physical safety. So when you have a school board chair that is so blatant and saying there's nothing you can do about it, we know you're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to lose we're going to lose a little bit of money, but it's just going to be, a couple dozen parents out might pull their kids. So where's the line for you parents? Because what is it that you lose if you pull your kids from school? Don't tell me academics, because if you tell me academics, then I know you still don't actually understand the purpose of K through 12. They'll say they won't be educated. Right. They won't be educated in queer theory and critical race theory, and to protect illegal aliens and fake climate changeism and fake anti-white. Yeah, they won't be educated in that. So if you pull your kids, and I'm not talking about the kids like 6, right? And you got nobody to watch them. I'm not talking about that. But if you can leave your kids at home safely, there is almost anything you can put in front of them that's 100% better than the education, than the K through 12 system. Now, again, they can't be sitting at home surfing TikTok and YouTube. That's a different problem, right? But if you put them in front of a master's class, if they learn how to play the guitar, if they learn how to build something on AI, if they learn anything, it could be anything. They could learn how to build something in those master classes that you can pay a subscription for, free YouTube sessions, anything that as long as you're like, look, here's your responsibility, right? You do the laundry, you fold the laundry, you come and you watch this documentary, you watch this series of teaching you whatever it is that they're interested in. And then here's a project for you, build this. They can go take naps. They literally can do anything at home. And whatever they learn, again, we're not talking about mindless scrolling here, okay? Anything that you put in front of them, as long as you put some thought into it, put them in front of something that actually has a beginning and an end. Some sort of series where they're teaching, it's a 5-part series teaching you how to build X, a 5-part series teaching you how to create an ebook. It's anything. anything.
How to
Today,
cook, how to
how to cook.
anything.
Yeah, anything. Today, education. We have to stop tying education to a diploma. Education has nothing to do with the diploma. Education has everything to do with the love of learning and what you want to learn. How many of you are out there paying for a student loan that is worthless? That's not education. That's not education. If you believe that your child can only be educated in a classroom with these lunatics, that's the first problem. So you have to unschool yourself. If you don't unschool yourself, then you will feel trapped, and you will feel that your children's trapped. If you have a school board chair that swears on a pile of queer smut porn books, the next day that school should be a ghost town.
Yes. Yes.
It should look like the rapture came or something. Nobody's there.
But yeah, and another thing that we hear is, well, I don't want to pull my kid because of the social interaction. Okay. The chair of the school board just swore in on a pile of porn books. What kind of social interactions do you think your children are being subjected to? Not healthy ones. They're not healthy. They're taught, all of this garbage, sexualization. They're taught the oppression that they create an environment that is dangerous. So what social interaction are you looking for? Look, I'm pretty sure it was at Fairfax County, but that story also came out yesterday, where there is a student who was filming boys in the restroom, a transgender. So a girl in the restroom filming boys. Is that the social interaction that you're looking for?
Yeah. Sometimes there's a lot of things that just rolls off our tongue as Americans, and one of them is, what about social skills? Not even defining what social skills are you referring to? Are you referring to them forcing pronouns, calling each other z, zer, and calling a boy a girl and all that? What is it that you think social skills are? We have to teach them to get along with everybody. What are you talking about? This is in 1985.
No, through the school's lens, the social skills that they're teaching them is to be lunatics on the street, protesting ICE, or
I mean, what is it that you guys are expecting? What do you think is happening in the social skills? And parents always say that. What about their social skills? What about their social? You mean like this? This is the social skills that you're talking about right here? Marching to protect violent illegal aliens? This picture's from Minnesota, where ICE was at. This picture is from Carmel, Indiana, one of the most wealthiest suburbs. They look the same because they are the same.
Yes.
These kids have never had a single day of hardship in their life. They don't even know what that is.
No.
But yet their woke white mothers and their woke white teachers are teaching them to protect illegal aliens. They've never had a car break-in. They don't understand. Now, these kids at least understand that. These kids have no idea. They've never had a car break-in. They've never had a mugging. They never had a drive-by shooting. They never had to walk over an illegal alien. They don't know anything. These illegal aliens that they're marching for, it would slit their throats and their families' throats without a second thought. Slit their throats without a second thought. And they're protesting to protect them. Same thing with these kids in Minnesota. That's the social skills that your kids are getting when you say, what about social skills? What about learning how to get along with people different than them? That's what they mean.
Yep.
So what are you guys what are you saying still? What are you saying that this is it's social skills? What are you talking about?
In Carmel, Indiana, you can still go into CVS and Walgreens and everything is still out on the shelves. There's nothing locked up.
Nothing.
I mean, they just live in a totally different environment, but they're all doing the same thing because it is the system that is teaching them this. And that's the social skills that a lot of parents are still holding on to because, it's so healthy for them to be in school and have these social interactions. Really?
I mean, for those of you who have kids in public schools, do they look like they're social? Do they look like they're confident? They can walk up to adults and shake hands and be confident and be able to knock on doors and public speak. And I mean, is your kids that way? Are they?
Mhm. Or do they
Or are
come
they
home
just
every day and complain because a certain, 2 or 3 kids in each class are constantly disrupting? Are they coming home and telling you that? Because I bet you they are. And it's true because there's no discipline policy. So you're putting them in a dangerous situation. And when you have schools that are this blatant about how extreme they are, this in your face, this demoralizing to you as parents, I hope that I hope the line doesn't go further down.
because they're going to normalize this. And I promise you that if you parents in Fairfax County, I'm talking to you specifically in Fairfax County, if you guys don't start banding together and having a massive drain, pulling your kids in whatever fashion you can, you will see school board chairs and superintendents across the country do this. It will be normal. And then you know what we're going to hear? We're going to hear people go, "Oh, I can't believe it. It's so shocking."
Mm-hmm.
Lips of TikTok will share school board chairs and superintendents swearing on a pile of porn smut all the time. And then you're going to go, "I can't believe it. When are we going to get back to math?" You're not getting back to math because there's nothing to get back to. This is what they do.
This is what education is.
This is
This
all
is
it
what it's
is.
become.
This is all it is. And so we'll probably cover this on another episode because I'm going to let it run a day. So I did a poll on all multiple social media platforms, and I asked, government K through 12 is failing. Is it true or false? And most people said it's true. It's failing. Jen, why don't you tell everybody why that's actually not the correct answer? The poll is government K through 12 is failing, true or false. The majority of people answered true. The people who answered false understood why it's false.
No, and I've been saying this since 2019. It's not failing. It's succeeding. It is passing all expectations when you're coming through what the purpose of education is now. It's just that people now still do not fully understand it. When they hear something like a book, a lesson, a walkout, a school board member swearing in on porn books, everyone immediately thinks, oh, it's isolated. Even though people all day long on social media or X Spaces or whatever you're on, whatever you're interacting
long,
with,
every day,
will
7
talk
days a
about
week,
the
all day long.
system. Yes, people. Every conversation somehow or another goes to education, and people talk about how bad it is in a really broad sense. But then if you give them an example, well, it's isolated. It's like people just block their minds off. It doesn't matter. We can give you hundreds and hundreds of examples. They will not. It's like, it drives me crazy. I'm like, no, it's not isolated. You just talked yesterday about how bad the system is. Today, you think that was an isolated event and it's not in your school. Listen, school is succeeding. They don't want your children proficient in anything. They want them to be social justice advocates. They want them to be sexualized and transgender. They want them to turn away from you, parents. That's why we now have health clinics going in, and the school is supporting all of that. The purpose of education is to do exactly what it is doing right now. It's not failing, it's succeeding. But the problem is people don't understand still somehow that it is the entire system, that the purpose of education shifted decades ago, but certainly massively in the last decade. And we're seeing all that come to fruition. And we can't all of a sudden as parents go, well, let's get back to academics. What academics? That's not the purpose. That is not what the colleges teach the teachers. That is not what the professional development is about. It's always about this stuff that we're talking about right now because it's the system. So, schools are succeeding. They're succeeding because that is their purpose.
That is the entire purpose.
Yeah.
It would be like if you signed your son up for basketball camp for like the whole summer, and then at the end of summer, he has all these basketball skills, and you go, "I can't believe it. Why does he have all these basketball skills? He's learning how to dribble and bounce pass and chest pass. He's learning how to do layups. He's learning how to free throw. I don't understand. And then someone goes, well, where did he go all summer? Basketball camp. They'll be like, well, what did you expect him to learn? Like, he's not going to learn volleyball skills. That's what K through 12 is. You send them to government K through 12, and then you're like, they can't read, they can't write. They think white privilege exists. They just calling me and their grandmother racist. And they just want illegal aliens, and they want open borders, and they think Trump's a fascist. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Where are they getting this? And you go, but that's what you send them to. What did you think you're sending them to? So we really have to start shifting our premise, because our original premise for all Americans is incorrect. Because for 99% of Americans, even still, despite this huge parental rights movements, 99% of parents still, and I'm talking about parents who actually are on this side of the parental rights movement,
Yes.
they still believe that government K through 12 is about core academics. And the reason why we know this is because we hear people say, why aren't they getting back in the classroom? Why are they marching? Why aren't they in the classroom? Our response is, they're marching because they have been in the classroom. What do you think they're learning in the classroom?
Yes.
So you have to change your premise, because if you have the wrong premise, you will always be shocked. But if you shift your premise to go, wait a minute, my premise now, I see that government K through 12 is about making my child angry, depressed, full of anxiety, scared of everything, and ready to march. If you understand that that's the purpose of government K through 12, then when you see the results of this generation's young people, you won't be shocked. You're going to go, oh, exactly what Jen just said earlier. It is a smashing success.
Yeah.
Their goals are a smashing success. And those few kids who are proficient, even by the lowered standard proficiency, that's by accident. That's because their parents work their ass off, or they take them to tutoring, or whatever the case may be. If you have a child who's reading really great, or who's really great at math, that's by accident. That's not because the schools did a good job. It's because the families did a good job. So that you got to change your premise. If you don't change your premise, you're going to be forever shocked.
Every day.
Every
you're
day.
Be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then you're going to go, but how did that happen? I'm sure it's not happening here. And then you're going to get on an X Space or something later. And you're going to be like, the system's so bad. But you can't be like, it's just, there's such a disconnect still with people.
Disconnect because you start off with the wrong premise.
Yeah.
And once you start off with the wrong premise, it's very difficult to walk yourself back. So you really got to go all the way back to your original premise and go, my premise is wrong. Once you have the wrong premise, it doesn't matter how much information you consume. When push comes to shove, you will have the wrong assessment of what's happening in your own schools, because your premise is still wrong. If you get the right premise, which is government's K through 12's purpose is to create social justice activists for radical left policies and candidates and initiatives. If you have that premise and you understand that, then whatever the schools tell you, you won't be fooled by it, because you know what their purpose is. So when they say, I just want to teach your child empathy, if you understand that this system is designed for transing your kids and making them allies, then you're going to go, okay, they're going to say I'm teaching the kids empathy, but they're teaching my daughter to have empathy for the mentally ill man.
Yes.
It's very
side
easy.
Of the coin is that empathy on? You got to remember there's always two sides to it.
Or resiliency. Who doesn't want resiliency? But if you know that the government K through 12's purpose is anti-white, anti-American, then they want you to be resilient against racism, resilient against white supremacy, resilient against fascism and Trump's a Nazi. Not resilient because I want to build a business, not succeed, get back up. I'm just so resilient. That's what you and I, as regular people, think about it. But the reason why every time these things come out, Jen and I always see through it. always 100%, is simply because our premise is correct. We see the schools for what they are. So nothing that they say it's going to ever fool us. Even if they say things like, okay, like for example, I'll give you an example. In Maine, okay, in Maine, Governor Mills and her lunatic Department of Education late last year, came out with this huge thing, this huge campaign that says, we are getting back to basics. Now, people in our side, right, that's fully supports courage as a habit, fully supports, knows all the things. They say, yay, finally.
We're being heard.
We're being heard. See, even lunatic communist Mills knows we got to get back to basics, because that's what we've been saying, right? We got to get back to basics. But Jen, to them, what is basics? To us, it means 2 + 2 = 5. It means phonics.
Right. Oh, well, back to basics for them means going back to they will use it in math and literacy and everything, but bringing all of the controversial ideas like transgenderism, the illegals, the critical race theory, Trump's a Nazi, all of that. We're going to bring back the basics. So we're going to make sure we're going to read more books about things like that will influence your children. Right? We're back to basics, but we're going to bring in more stuff that will teach your children those things.
That's their basics.
Yeah.
Their really basics are like, oh, you know what? We've got some high school boys that are tearing tampons out of the bathroom. They need some basic. Get back to basics. They need to learn the basics of allyship. They need to learn the basics of internal biases. They need to learn the basics that America is oppressive. That's a basic tenet that we need to teach them, and we got to get back to that.
Because they don't have any empathy. We got to teach them empathy.
Empathy, right. For illegal aliens.
And for the tampons in the boys' bathroom.
For the girl that suffers a brain damage because the ball gets spiked in her head on a volleyball game. Like what happened to Peyton McNabb.
Yeah.
Because there was a boy in her competition. If you understand that, that will go a long way in you protecting your children and being able to help with this fight. So we implore you to unschool yourself about what is K through 12, the purpose of K through 12. Because if you don't get that, if you don't get that basic premise, the schools will fool you all the time, every time. No matter how much you read from us, no matter how many lawsuits they file, no matter what, they will always be able to fool you and outright fool you because your premise is wrong. You start off with the wrong premise and you'll always find yourself on the wrong side of that.
Yes, please. Every day drives me crazy.
For the sake of Jen's heart, please, everybody, stop saying not in my school.
Yes, please.
That will send her to an early grave. That kills her more than anything else, because I promise you, we have heard this now. Jen's heard this now since 2019. We're in 2026.
We used to challenge people.
If
you say it's not happening, give me your school and I'll show you that it is.
We've made this offer now for 5 years.
Yep.
Between us doing it, nobody's been able to tell us a school. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that there are people in California that'll tell us it's not happening. We go, where do you live? California. We're like, oh, I had this one cowardly bitch that told me it's not happening. I go, where's your state? He goes, I know teachers. It's not happening at all in my school district. I go, where do you live? I'm going to let you, because you're going to spit this. This stupid bitch. He says Michigan.
Oh my God.
I go, Michigan. Where the porn is so bad, even the Muslims were like, what would Allah do? I'm going to aklop on you guys. I go, that Michigan, so bad that the Muslims, that we actually joined forces with the Muslims. Are you, this is how, but of course he's lying. Of course he's lying. He's just a little bitch, right? He's a cuck, of course he's lying. And then you show it to him, but he was like, oh, that he just moves the goalpost, right? That's what they do. So It's funny shit like that. Now, that guy's being dishonest. This guy's completely dishonest, right? But there are people who genuinely believe that it's not happening. Yeah, right. He's not genuine. He's lying about it, but
yeah, I just told Alvin about this week. Someone that I respect really does understand communism and is fighting it and everything. And she did the same thing. She said, I went down to my school and made sure it's not happening. My school's good, but I know most of them aren't. Where are you at? California. There's not one damn school in California that's not doing it. Not one.
In California, the doghouse has trans flags in it.
Yeah.
The dog houses has indoctrination in it. There's no such thing as a building that doesn't.
Did you? Oh, all right. Well, I know you did, but this still cracks me up that what's her name? She came out and said that she's going to pay for the meth heads to get teeth.
Bass. Yeah.
Bass. Yes. She's going to pay for and there's a video of her saying, because if you don't have teeth, you can't succeed. I mean, and you're going to tell me their schools aren't teaching this garbage? Listen, I would not be shocked if next week in the schools, the kids get a lesson about how they have to have empathy because the meth heads are oppressed if they don't have teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how bad it is.
That's how bad it is. Yeah. This is in LA. It's a mayor
We're going to have
LA.
Kids outside marching with like toothbrushes and teeth and, teeth for the meth heads because America's oppressive.
It's a human right. It's a human right to have teeth. That's what everything they want to push is human rights. By the way, everybody, share this live stream. Share this live stream because we're going to move on to the midterm virus. We're going to move on to the midterm virus. But yeah, so please, folks, please stop saying it's not in my school. They will send Jen to an early grave because she's heard this now for a better part of 6 years.
Yes.
And I will tell you, we have heard this up and down this state, or excuse me, this country. It started in Indiana, but then of course we expanded and we've heard the same thing in every state. We have not had one person offer a school district where they're not doing it. They may be doing it in different intensity.
Yeah, they're not all getting sworn in on porn books.
Right.
Okay? But they're on their way. They're on their way there.
Right. But it's always in their system, even if it's in a different intensity. But it's there, and every year it gets more intense. We have made this offer. Give us the school district that's not doing it, that's not doing SEL, that's not doing the surveys, that doesn't have transgender ideology, that's not talking about equity, that doesn't have school counselors keeping secrets. If we find that school district, I don't care where it is, we will get on the next plane out there because we want to sit with that school board and that district and go, teach us how are you not doing it? How are you getting around it? I swear to God, if you give us a school district that's not doing it anywhere in the country, no matter how remote, it could be in fucking Alaska, we will be on the next plane out to that school district and we'll say, please teach us, show us how you're not doing it. Because there is no school district that's not doing it. Mm-mm. If there was, somebody somewhere would have said, hey, my school district's not doing it. Some teacher saying, no, you guys are lying. My school district's not doing it. The teachers are the biggest liars. How many teachers have told us we're not doing it? And we go, okay, what's your school district? And they're like, I don't want to tell you. It's like, yeah, you fucking coward, because you know you're doing it.
I went to speak in Texas a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. Texas. That's right.
And the woman that was bringing me out there, she let me know just before I left, before I flew out. And she said, I just want you to know that the school has got word of this, that you're coming out to train, all the parents and everything. And they're adamant that you're lying. And so I just want to make sure that you know that they're going to come. The superintendent and maybe the vice principal and some of the school board members, we're going to come to the meeting, to this training session to call me out in front of their community. And I said, thank you, noted. So I went into my presentation, my PowerPoint that I used at the time when I was speaking, and went to their school district, and I pulled every single one of their programs, screenshots, plugged it into my PowerPoint, and I presented with their own information exactly what it was in front of all of them. called them out by name, called out the people that were advocating for it, the legislators that they worked up. I mean, I nailed them to the wall. And at the end, it was, do you have any questions for Jennifer or any statements? And then they always would go around with a microphone, and anybody, obviously could add in or ask a question. Guess what? Crickets. Not a word. They got up and left, didn't stay for the afterwards. They were out of there.
That was such a badass presentation, because what she did was she took her presentation that says, okay, your school is doing critical race theory, or you're doing culture responsive teaching. Your school is keeping transgender secrets. They're doing pronouns. But so what she did was she goes, your school's doing this. But because they were like, she's lying and we're going to be there, she literally took the page numbers of where they had it in their own writing and say, here's what the schools are doing. Here is where it is in your school.
In your
and
handbook,
she did that
in your
handbook,
guidelines,
your guidelines, your mission statements, your ethics statements, your whatever.
I made it so that every single slide in my PowerPoint had their own information on it. On the plane ride over there, I was like, yeah, go ahead, show up.
And that was the presentation I missed. I would have given anything to see that. Because if I was there, I'd be like, no. You bitches don't get to leave. You made this whole thing about her lying. Now you take this microphone and you go up and you show which slide she's lying about.
Yep.
Which one?
Yep. Because they had all these parents there that were, and ahead of time. So these people from the school were spreading the word that I was a liar. First of all, they didn't want, obviously, for people to come listen to me. And second of all, when they did listen to me, they wanted them to already have this idea that I was lying, I was making up stuff that wasn't happening in their school. So yeah, I just made them the focal point of my entire presentation.
It was so badass. I was like, damn, this is why like nobody ever debates us live. I mean, we've had teachers and PhDs and all these people talk about SEL. I go, then come on a live stream. Come tell us SEL is good. Come tell us that this school's not doing it. Tell us that this is not what SEO is. This is not what cultural responsive teaching is. And I go, we will bury you. We will bury you. We'll actually bury you with your own school district. We're not even going to be general, like, oh, right, we're going to go to California or, like Fairfax County or some shit like that. We don't need to do that. We'll do your own school district.
We'll enjoy every minute of it.
No one ever does it. No one ever does it. All right. Share this live stream. Let us go over to the midterm virus.
What? I don't know what that is.
Come on. You don't know what the midterm virus is? This is the thing that's killing millions. That has a 40% death rate. You don't know?
Oh, I heard of it, but I did get it off of my timeline, so I never see anything about it.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Well, some people call it the hantavirus, but what it really is, it's the hantavirus. Or actually, I don't even know how to pronounce it because I don't even know I just call it the midterm virus.
I think that's what I hear people talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a midterm virus. All right, so here's the midterm virus. Now, okay. Everybody's saying we're not doing it again. We're not masking again. We're not going to go through this. We learned our lesson, right? Some people that are saying we're not doing this again have been the same people that from the very beginning or very early beginning of COVID going, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. This is bullshit, very early on. Some people did fall for COVID after, maybe the first, most of 2020 or something, and then go, oh, wow, this was all scam, and then the stolen elections and all those things. So obviously there's a mix of people, but in either case, there's a lot of people now that are saying, you know what, fuck you, I'm not masking, right? And so obviously the attitude's different. But on the first part of the segment, by the way, everybody, you're gonna want to share the live stream. I promise you that people that are following you, you're going to want to see this because we brought you micro receipts. Because up to now, we've been talking about the general, like the schools are indoctrinating your kids. And we're saying that through mental health and through the social emotional learning, we always say that they're making your kids fearful of everything. They're a ball of anxiety. They're a mess. They can't work. They can't do anything. There's no academics because we said earlier, the premise, you got to change your premise. The core purpose of K through 12 is to turn your kids into these useless social justice activists. So while a lot of people are like, okay, I'm not going to fall for this. This is bullshit. I know what this is. The majority of people that are going to fall, like there's going to not fall for it. They are begging for it. I want to be clear here. They're not falling for it like, ooh, could this be dangerous? Let me look into it. Let me look at the studies. No, they are begging for it. Most of these young people have never taken off their mask from COVID.
Yeah.
Think about how awful that is. And likely, wherever you live, if you go to a fast food place, you go to a restaurant, Walmart, Target, whatever, you still see young people masking, probably. Those are the people that have grown up on, there's your socialization, by the way. They're socialized.
Yes.
Earlier, we talked about socialization. There you go.
Yep.
That's their socialization. They all wear masks, and they all were protecting each other for the greater good. That's their socialization. There you go. There's your socialization. So what we've observed is most of those, like I would say most, probably all the young people that can't wait to mask, can't wait to lock down, are also part of the transgender cult. There are these weird he thems, he she's, and bullshit like that, because their mind, just all they are. They believe in climate changeism. All of it. You name it, they believe it. And they're the first to beg to be masked. Okay. So we put together this thread. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just copy this thread and put it on our thing here. I'm going to share this. There we go. Okay. So this thread, we start with Exhibit A. If you give me until like next week, I'll have Exhibit Z all the way to Z. So tonight, I think we have until F, I think. Okay. So they can't wait to be locked down. They can't wait to be told what to do. Here's Exhibit A. Okay. I will read it out loud. Here's a young person. Can you see this? Can you see her photo, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay. Here she is. Young person. Real young. She's probably not even 20 if she's 20.
Yeah.
There's a double benefit this time of year for blocking all the pollen. I mask myself for myself and others. That's what they tell them, right? You mask for, right? Here she is. A she, they. Land back. Giving the land back. See the land.
I was like, what is a land back? Okay.
Yeah. Right. All the shit, right? All that. Stop cop cities. Defund police.
Defund police, but I'm scared to death of everything, including pollen.
Yeah. I love you. I'm disabled. She's disabled. Remember, in schools, they're teaching through social emotional learning. The more victimhood labels, it's like they're collecting like pins. The more there's more victimhood pins you can collect, the higher your social hierarchy. There you go. There's your social skills.
Yes.
Parents, when you go, I'm afraid my children not learn social skills. This is the social skills. That's it. Okay. Exhibit B.
Look at them.
Exhibit B. Let's see here. Did this person block me? Is that why? This person probably did block me. Yeah, they did. Okay, here we go. Let's read it. She said something about, so she's responding. Okay, she's responding to a post. A post said, isolation isn't nothing, and it was for months. She said, months? For those of us left severely disabled by COVID. Remember, this is a young person.
What?
Okay. For those of us left severely disabled by COVID, isolation has lasted 6 years and counting.
My God.
And no, that's not nothing. We can't even safely access medical care, but everyone seems to think that disabled folks should endure house arrest forever. This young person has masked herself for 6 years.
Oh my God. Yeah, she's disabled. She is mentally disabled. She is losing brain cells by the minute.
Will bang on about disability justice. She, they. There's your social skills, parents.
Yep.
There's your social skills.
Teaching them social skills and how to manage their emotions. Don't forget, they're also managing their emotions.
Here's Exhibit C. At first aid training yesterday, listening to people past tensing the pandemic while discussing stuff like strokes and heart attacks that have increased because of COVID. But of course, we don't talk about that part. And I was the only masked one in a room of sniffles and coughs. Oatmeal socialist. She, her. Librarian.
She, hers. A librarian.
A librarian.
Oh, of course. She probably put the stack of books together for the school board member to swear in on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. If you could only pick 5 pornographic books for children, which 5 would you pick? That's Exhibit C. Exhibit D. If it's a 30 to 50% mortality rate, wouldn't the smart thing to do is to stock up, go into a real lockdown, not a COVID lockdown, but a full don't leave your house, army delivers stuff lockdown. Like, I understand the negatively affects that negatively affects everyone, but at least half the country doesn't die.
We should let them know that it's in full effect right now. Stay home, wait for your food. Don't come out.
I want to stop for a second and talk about this one. I'm going to read this again for everybody. This is why I said, everybody, you got to share this live stream, because this is the kind of micro stuff that we try to dig into, because we really truly want you to understand what it's doing to young people on the individual level. Not just, they're being brainwashed into social justice activists. That's too vague. Okay. Now, I'm going to read this again. This is a young person. You can tell they're a young person simply because of the way they write, because they write like shit, because they don't have any, any academics, but also the animes is always the young people. Okay. If it's a 30 to 50% mortality rate, wouldn't the smart thing to do is, write like shit, is stock up and go into a real lockdown? Not a COVID lockdown, but a full don't leave your house, army deliver stuff lockdown in capital letters. At least half the country doesn't die. This young person is begging to be locked in. Now, you'll notice that this person doesn't go, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm going to go lock down. Goodbye. No, they go, I want the government to lock us down. Tell me to be locked down and the army delivers stuff to me. Now, this person, of course, is a, let's see this here. It's one of these, right? Anime loving, like I said, there's always have animes and trans stuff. And so these people can't outwork. They're disabled. If they do work, then everything's oppressive. Everything is not inclusive. Capitalism. I don't want to work for someone is 1%. My boss is too rich, whatever. It's that kind of stuff. We're on stolen land anyway. Why am I only I want a livable wage, but I need mental health days. So they can't work. They're useless to a functioning society. Okay. But this person wants to be locked down and have the army deliver stuff to them. Feed them.
They want the government to control every aspect of their life.
But like literally though, like the government defeat them forever. Just lock them down, deliver stuff. Now, this is going to be pretty morbid, but I'm going to have you guys, critically think and take it to its logical conclusion. This is where you have to understand communism and understand Mao's communism. If you don't, go buy Xi Fleet's book, Mao's America. Okay. If you'd honestly go, you know what? I really don't understand Mao Zedong's communism, then go buy her book because you need to understand. Because if you don't understand it, then what I'm about to say next is going to sound really out there. If you have a generation of kids where they cannot work, they think they're disabled, they think they're born in a wrong body, they've been medicated since they were in middle school, and soon there'll be more medication because there's going to be medical centers in your schools. And the army has to come and deliver their basic supplies. That person is less valuable than a houseplant. Because at least a houseplant, gives off oxygen. Is productive. So, because you've got these young people that are going to be, I can't do anything, take care of me. If and when communism completely takes over, they will make a case to euthanize these people. And everybody will agree. Because they'll make a case to go, they are a net negative to our country. Here's how much each of them cost. Now, these people will try to come out and talk about human rights and the value of human life, and they'll do their whole, we have value, human rights, we're people, we're human beings. That only works on your way to communism. That doesn't work when communism actually takes over. So, this is where this is going.
Yes. At that point, they're no longer useful.
Right. They're useful today. Right now, they're useful.
Right. Well, no, right. So right now they're useful not to us, but they're useful.
Right, not to us, right? Yeah.
But they're useful to this communist agenda to drive a collective fear, to be the ones to hold down, so that when the government comes out and says whatever, like, oh, you better get your vaccine or whatever, they've got this little army of people that are going to support it and be on social media and try to convince others that you have to do it for everyone else. Once that is all over, they're no longer useful.
Right. So you have to understand communism to understand. If you don't believe us, okay, you don't believe what I just said, go ask anyone who actually escaped communism. They'll tell you that's exactly what's going to happen. Human rights and human dignity, those two words, human rights, human dignity, are only valuable on your way to communism because they get people to agree to all kinds of bullshit, like all kinds of tyranny under the guise of human rights and human dignity. There's no such thing as human rights and human dignity. I hate to tell you that. There is no such thing. The only thing that gives you your rights and dignity are your laws in your respective country. And the only thing that makes your laws work, that piece of paper, is your ability to enforce it. If you have a country that cannot enforce their laws, all your human rights proclamation means nothing. So in these blue cities where their judges are revolving doors, letting these black criminals and illegal aliens out 20, 30, 40 times, there's laws against murder. There's laws against assault. It means nothing. So this human rights, human dignity is just a nice sounding thing for young people to spout on their way to communism. Once communism takes over, they're about to show you how little they care about human dignity.
It's true.
Well, I don't know if this one needs a lot of reading.
This one. Look at this psycho.
I mean, I guess I can read it, but I don't know if reading is necessary here. Okay. Yes, I for sure am still wearing a fucking mask. Not going to risk getting sick or getting someone else sick. It is tiring to face resistance, but I won't stop. I won't be responsible for infecting my immunocompromised mom. Forever masking, mask up, COVID isn't over. And it's of course, he, him. All right, last one. Exhibit F. Come back next week and we'll have it up to Z. Okay. All right, ready? Last one. I am sorry. If it makes you feel any better, okay. If it makes you feel any better, I have skipped nearly every wedding, funeral, baby shower. It all makes me sad, but I don't think they are responsible events in an ongoing plague. And I said, you should skip all of it for the rest of your life. It's not safe. He got very mad, and he got very, very angry, extremely angry. And his pronouns are Z, Zim, Zgur. I'm just reading.
Oh my God.
So there you go, folks. This is your social skills. When you leave your children in schools, this is your social skills.
That's it. And their emotional management, they're doing a great job.
They're doing a great job.
Yes. Because when you send your kids to school, part of that social emotional learning is that they're going to teach them how to manage their emotions.
And this is how they're managing their emotions.
Yep.
This is how they're managing their emotions.
They're just mad they're not managing yours. I mean, literally, these people are just mad now. They're managing theirs, but they're mad that you're not managing yours. Seriously, though, like I go to like my local Kroger, and every single time I'm in there, it's a high turnover rate. You know, like for people that are like cash register or whatever, stocking, bagging the groceries. Every time there's at least one of them. They're young and they're masked up. It's so crazy. It's so sick because COVID did not bother anybody who was young. No. It didn't affect babies. It didn't affect toddlers. It didn't affect if you're in middle school, high school, if you're in your 20s and your 30s. I mean, unless you have some obesity, like, you know, or any kind of pre-existing like lung condition, COVID didn't bother you. Nothing. We traveled up and down. We did half the state during COVID for 2-3 years, not masking, nothing. We didn't get COVID. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, come on, Alvin, get control of your emotions. Emotions. I'm telling people nowadays, every time I see someone that want to mask or they want to skip things, I just tell them you should skip it forever. You should stay home forever. Yeah. Don't come out. Home. Don't come out. Say it's never going to go away because we're not able to manage our emotions like you. So just stay home. Just stay home. So we're going to bring it to the last thing that we want to share tonight. Can we do one more? You good? Yes. Okay. Yes. So we are going to do a profile on this guy. And I call him Limp Wrist Steve or LMS. Now, we hit the, we are very hard on the insufferable woke white women. We even have a t-shirt. Yes. By the way, speaking of t-shirt, if you guys haven't hit our store, it is courageasahabit.org/store. We have an Deport Woke White Women t-shirt. So they are a plague to our society in every community, the woke white women. But it's the weak, white guilt-filled males that is the worst because because there's so little real men, strong men, and those boundaries are gone.
These insufferable woke white women are just a open plague. And when you don't have the male leadership, or you don't have enough of it, this is what happens to a society when it's ultra feminized. So I'm going to introduce you to such a man. His name is Steve, but I call him Limp Wrist Steve, or LMS. And here he is. This is Limp Wrist Steve.
You can almost look at him and tell.
Mm-hmm. These white guilt, white shame-filled male feminists, he, hims, just disgusting. Like, the most disgusting creature is a male feminist. You will never convince me that there's anything more disgusting than a male feminist. Okay? But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from Steve, from Limp Wrist Steve, from LMS himself. I'm just going to read this with no commentary. Okay. I'm the neurodivergent. Okay. All right.
It sounds like a South Park, like, thing, but it's not.
I'm just going to read it straight. Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Limp Wrist Steve, male feminist. I'm the neurodivergent husband of a disabled neurodivergent wife with 3 neurodivergent children, one of which is trans.
Man, that's a short fucking straw, let me tell you.
So basically, Steve has a family full of mental patients. He's running a mental asylum, is what he's telling us, in his house. I cannot express how statistically impossible that is. That would be like if you won the lottery while getting hit by lightning at the same time, 3 days in a row. Like, every day you bought a scratcher and you won the lottery 3 days in a row, and every day you got hit by lightning.
That's how they became neurodivergent.
That's
how they got there. Come on. I'm sure if we dig deeper, he's going to tell us, like, yeah, that's what happened to me.
I got hit by lightning, so that made me neurodivergent.
Yeah. And right after that, I got long COVID.
Getting hit by lightning, they give me superpowers, like some of these superheroes. Like, I get hit by lightning and I'm like super fast. No, I just became neurodivergent. And then somehow I found a disabled neurodivergent wife, and I had not 1, not 2, but 3 neurodivergent children, and one of them's trans. And the one that's trans is a girl, naturally. Later, I mean, if you look into, he is a girl that pretends to be a boy. So one of the girls pretends to be a boy. Okay. Okay, so I had to start off with this because so I needed to set the context of who LMS is, okay, or who the LWS is, Limp Wrist Steve. Okay, so this is who Limp Wrist Steve is. All right, so now that you know what he's running at his house, let's begin. I think what this hantavirus thing proves is that a lot of folks who have been walking around without a care in the world have a massive amount of unresolved trauma to deal with. Shout out to COVID-aware folks who are the most mentally resilient people.
Oh, Lord.
Now, remember what we always tell you, what Jen always says, through whose lens. So if what he's saying, what Limp Wrist Steve is saying, if you go through life seeing the government propaganda and the legacy propaganda, and you didn't mask, you didn't take your vaccine, you're healthy, you're not fat, you're just moving through your life, having no COVID poison in you, you have unresolved trauma. Now, I want you guys to remember that term, unresolved trauma, because that term you see everywhere. Every time one of these narcissists wants to get you to do something that you don't want to do, they will say you have unresolved trauma. That's the mental health.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are masking for 6 years, like those people that we showed you, the he, hims, and the they, them, and the zers, you are mentally resilient.
You have resolved your trauma. You're emotionally stable.
This thing is mentally resilient.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is mentally resilient. But if you're out there and you didn't take the COVID vax and you see through the propaganda and you're not staying in your house and your kids are not trans and you're just moving through life like a normal person, you have unresolved trauma. You see, that's mental health. That's the mental health people.
We need to do a study on these people at this point that are still masking. I mean, you can't breathe. Like,
yeah. Yep. All right. So the next one. Here comes empathy. You ready for empathy? Here comes the masks. Yeah. Okay. Folks, masks aren't that serious. You might have some unresolved trauma, though, that masks trigger. Get help now, because in the future, masks may be needed. But you see how manipulative this little bitch is? He's saying masks are not that serious. But if you take it seriously, then you have unresolved trauma. And by the way, you better get some help for that, because we're going to have to mask. You see how dishonest these cucks are?
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing people in masks. Some might say it denotes a higher level of empathy.
Stupidity. He meant stupidity.
He meant stupidity, yes. But you see these words, empathy, trauma-informed, unresolved trauma. That is what your children are being exposed to in schools through social emotional learning.
Every day.
This cuck is out here doing all this, saying all this stuff, but your children are getting the same attitudes through social emotional learning and school counselors. Yeah. Unresolved trauma, empathy. If you don't do what I say, it's empathy. You don't have empathy. Okay, here comes the critical race theory. The reason why white people have felt the need to apologize is because the history of what certain white people have done to non-white people in this country. This statement here is giving folks permission to ignore the bad parts of one's history. Mistakes will be repeated. This was in response to Vice President J.D. Vance saying in the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore. This white cuck says, no, of course we do. Love socialism.
We always do.
Because we haven't done it right. Democratic socialism is the real question. There's an infinite amount of propaganda against socialism dating back from World War II and much earlier. See, socialism's bad because there's been propaganda against it. Not because of the millions people that die from starvation and bread lines and, Of course, climate crisis, Trump, no kings, fascism, on and on and on. This one, Jen, I'm going to read this to you and I want your take on this. Okay. All right. Ready?
Okay.
His last one. The psychological impact on children growing up in a society with constant illness and disability would be profound, potentially leading to a generation facing severe mental health challenges.
What? That is exactly what they're creating in the schools with trauma-informed education. What do we say on our? It's trauma-informed. When you hear that, they are giving you trauma that you didn't know you had.
Our
right,
yes, right. I mean, our new language contamination.
That's how you create.
That's
when you consistently in school with this generation, put a false fear to them. They're always going to die. Climate change is going to kill you. The transgender people are going to die. Your friends are going to die. The Trump's going to kill you. The vaccine, or not the vaccine, but the COVID's going to kill you, right? Then they're giving them trauma,
police
informing them of trauma they didn't know they have.
Yeah, you're right. Trauma informed means informing children of trauma they didn't know they have. Repeat until students have real trauma created by trauma-informed programs.
So there you go.
So what we said here in trauma-informed, good call, by the way, Jen. That was excellent. Good call there. That's exactly what this means. So now, based on what we just read to you about trauma-informed, now let's read this Limp Wrist Steve again. The psychological impact on children growing up in a society with constant illness and disability would be profound, potentially leading to a generation facing severe mental health challenges. We keep telling children there's a society that's oppressive, fascism, Nazi, white supremacy. Everybody's dying. Everyone needs to be masked. Everyone's disabled. Everyone's trans. And then we go, oh my God, they have mental health challenges.
Yeah, potentially. No,
yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Now, after I've read you all this, let's read the first one again. You've read Steve's words and what he's believed and all the trauma-informed and empathy and unresolved trauma. Let's read his first post again. I'm the neurodivergent husband of a disabled neurodivergent wife with 3 neurodivergent children, one of which is trans. When you have a weak, limp wrist, male feminist piece of garbage like this, his family is a reflection of what he wants for your family.
Mm-hmm.
That is what he and the people like him, which is basically your entire K through 12 system, the teachers unions, Trevor Project, Gleason, everybody. That's what they want for your family.
Mm-hmm.
His family is the model in which they want for your family.
Yeah. And when you see people that surround themselves with this type of, right, we're all neurodivergent and trans, and we all have long COVID, and I lost a leg, and can't buy groceries, and my grandma's at home, and she can't go anywhere because everybody won't mask up. And when you see people that do that, it's because they are, all of those things make them feel validated in this world. We need to shame them to go back in your house, shut the fuck up, leave the children alone. Yeah. You are not validated. Do not validate their feelings.
Yeah. Don't ever do it. Don't be like, I'm sorry your grandmother's sick. I'm sorry your son. Don't do that. That feeds them. That gives them like power. That gives them energy. You go, I don't care.
Because people, if you go to his comments on his post, people come in and do that. Because he's so extreme. People do come in and say things to him, not quite like we do, but push back on him. We'll push back on him, right? But then someone in the comments or multiple people will come to his defense. And that's what feeds him. It makes him feel validated. It makes him feel like he belongs. So when you see people that just continuously collect all of these labels and these traumas that they have, that's why they're doing it. Do not give it to them. Don't come in and try to say, I understand. I know someone that was really sick from COVID, and don't try to talk sense to them.
Don't.
You can't.
You can't. All you're doing is feeding him. He's going to have a 4th child that's neurodivergent.
That's born without legs.
And born without legs, and trans, and blind. You know, I mean, it's just it's never enough. It's never enough for them. So if you feed them exactly what she said, if you feed them, that's exactly what's going to happen. So please don't do that.
Just mock them.
Just mock them. Just mock them or be indifferent. Even if you don't want to mock them, just go, okay, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? Just be indifferent. If you're indifferent, you don't feed this insane narcissism. So we wanted to show you, some of these examples from young people, which is very, very sad. And from these white guilt-filled males who are just pathetic as hell.
He manages his emotions so well that he blocked Alvin. So anybody, feel free, go get this thread, stick it on his page. Just go to his page, find his latest, stupid post, and stick it on there because he managed his emotions so well. He blocked Alvin. He blocked.
You know what? Thanks for reminding me about that. I should put that on our thread so people can see the thread itself and they can read it for themselves. I gotta go and grab it. Hang on, give me a second. I gotta go and grab it and put it on our. But by the way, everybody, go ahead and share this.
Yes, please. I already put it on there yesterday.
Oh,
if he hasn't blocked me, I'll put it on there again.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if he's blocked me yet, but if he hasn't, I will. Yeah. You will see mine over there. I will stick that thread right on one of his comments, and let him know that he made it to our Courage After Dark. That we were talking about him.
Yeah, let him know. Look, this is okay. So people. Now, you guys might be wondering, like, man, what the hell did he do to deserve this? I'll tell you. I'll be honest. I'll tell you. He talked about not going to places. Oh, no. He talked about how people who masks are healthy and whatever he said, right? They're healthy and mentally stable, whatever, mentally stable. And I said, you mean mentally ill because they're scared of everything. And then, of course, he came back with some shit about how, they're the best. And then he asked me a question. He said, do you have anything else to add, loser? That was his question.
That was it.
That was it. He said, do you have anything else to add, loser? I said, oh, as a matter of fact, I do. And so now he'll be a profile. We'll be working on a profile tomorrow.
I have good news. Good news. He has not blocked me yet. So,
oh, there you go. Are you going to post it again? And you're going to tell him that? Okay.
I just did. And it's perfect too, because I just did live. It's perfect too, because literally his top post right now that he put on there 2 hours ago is talking about the CIA whistleblowers today, talking about reveals that despite majority of CIA scientists concluding COVID was leaked from a lab. Anyways, so on and so far, the cover up, there was a hearing today.
Right.
His top post says, and despite these folks thinking, hold on, no, I gotta blow it up here. It's a lab weapon. They are still huffing it like it's going out of style. How can anyone give a fuck about any of this while we ignore the disease itself? Unserious. So I went ahead and put it on there again. Feel free to join me, everyone.
This is so awesome. People like Steve needs to be so shamed and so mocked that they don't want to come out of their house. Basically, give them what they want. Because when they come out of their house, what they're trying to do is they're trying to manipulate you and ruin your life and your family's life so that you're going to be under this propaganda. That's all, because people like Steve, people like Limber Steve, they're straight up losers in life. They just are. They're not successful at anything. They've been losers since they were in school. And so what COVID did was give these people a sense of power that they've never had in their whole miserable life. That's why that's why the mask is like their whole identity, their whole shield, not from the virus, but so that they can go, now I have social power.
I have a
status. I have status. I'm a hero. I'm somebody. And so you need to bully these people back to being nobody. That's really what it is. You got to bully these people back to being nobody. Always humiliate them, always shame them, always bully them, because these people these are the people that are destroying every fiber of our country. I mean, I've read all the stuff from him. Anti-white. I mean, trans, climate change, the mental health, everything. If I look long enough, I'm sure I'll find anything like open borders and shit. We just stopped where we stopped. It's everything. So these are the people that are constantly voting, constantly pushing this stuff in your communities, because they don't have anything else to do. And so we highlight these people, not just to be mean to them, but to show you that These are the people
Not
that
just
I know people say, "Oh, you just to be mean." I'm like, it's not just to be mean.
we
You
have
actually
other
have.
purposes.
Yes. Yes. We have
Listen,
other.
if he's holding on to this masking thing for dear life, because if it goes away, he's only left with 3 neurodivergent children. So, I mean, that's not enough.
One of which is trans.
One that's trans, still not enough. Got to hold on to the mask. If he lets that go, I mean,
What does he have?
half of his status is gone. So, you know.
I want to close with one story because I think Jen loves this story. I don't know what my point of telling this story is, but I just found this hilarious.
Just do it.
Yeah, I know. I do it for you because I like to do things that make you laugh, and if you love it, that's all that matters. Look how happy she is. She doesn't even know what the story is yet. She doesn't even know the story is. She's happy already. All right. So, okay. So I was on a radio station about a month ago. Okay. It was this guy had a radio station, but he used to be a former pastor for a black church, mostly in a black community. But that was several years ago. Now he has his own show, but he still does, he's still involved in the black community and the Christian community, of course, but mainly he's has his radio show and he's, expanding and all that stuff. Good guy, great interview, great conversation. We actually went probably for like 45 minutes, which is really long. And we went, we went through several of the topics. At the time, it was the probably the walkouts, probably maybe the anti-ICE walkouts or something like that. Anyhow, and then our Lean In Girls, the radical feminist program that we discovered in middle school. So it was those kind of things, plus just general courage is habit stuff. Anyway, I just want to set that tone. Okay, so maybe like 3 days later, after the I get an email. We get an email to the team inbox, our team at Courage is a Habit inbox. And this guy, emails us, the team inbox, and the host. And he said, I listened to the episode. And then he starts going in about how I agree with most of everything that you say, but he said your homepage and your media page, okay, your homepage and your media page is atrocious, and you're going to open yourself up. You're only framing this as a white and black issue, meaning the education. There are people from all races that are on your side. And you need to fix this. And then he goes on another like long tirade, and he was kind of all over the place. But at the end, he tells the host, this episode went out to thousands of people. And they saw this eyesore of a website. That's what he said, eyesore of a website. Are you going to fix this mess on your show? Because this is going to hurt our unity. We need Christian unity. And I'm like, what is he talking about? I read the email. I'm like, I don't understand what he's saying. I'm like, our homepage and our media page. He goes, it's an atrocity. It's an eyesore. You're making it a white and black issue. But I'm racking my brain going, man, I just did this episode. Why does he think? I go, is he saying because I'm saying like, they're teaching kids to be anti-white? Then I read this, but this email still doesn't make any sense. It is anti-white. They're doing that, so I don't know what he's saying. So let me show you our homepage. Okay, this is our homepage. Now, obviously, a couple things has changed. The tool of the week, but this is our homepage. We got our Twitter. Okay, and at the time, I had a couple of Jen's videos, which we swapped out for a couple of her posts. But at the time, I had 2 of Jen's videos here, and then along with some of my shows, and that's it. That's the homepage. And then, but because the meat of our stuff is in our tools, or in our collections, or in our tactics, as those of you who follow our site knows, right? That's where all our catalog lives. Then the media page It's just media hits that I've done. So again, we've got a couple of new ones here. Why is this so weird loading? Oh, there we go. So we've got a couple of new ones here, but by and large, it's just that's it. That's all this is, right? So I'm like, what is he talking about, right? So I email him back and I say, hey, thanks for listening. I really appreciate you listening, but I'm afraid I don't understand. What is it about our homepage and our media page that bothers you? And he writes back and he says, on your homepage and your media page, it's all just white people. He goes, it's atrocious. I'm like, but I'm on there. My face is on there. I'm not atrocious. I don't think.
One.
I'm like, look, there's 2 Asian guys here. I'm like, why do you say that? What do you mean? I'm like, who's going to interview me?
That is hilarious.
And then I'm like, well, I don't understand.
You have a white girl at the bottom album. Jeez, get her off.
And then Jen's on there. Yeah. And then she's on there. And then I guess she had a couple of videos on their Twitter feed on the homepage, which I'm not sure why. Maybe it's there you go. Right. So it was the Twitter feed. And so and his whole point was, I need it because he's saying that we need Christian unity. We need to join all the races. I need to represent all races because every race from every family or families from every race is against this. And he said, if we don't have Christian unity and join everybody together, we are at the crossroads of being taken over by communism and Islam, like Sharia law. He goes, we're on a crossroads now between communism and Sharia law competing against who's going to take over America. So we need this melting pot unity. And he's a white guy. He's an old white guy. And I told him, I said, oh, okay, I get it. I go, yeah, we don't care about that shit at all. I go, you're so dumb. The reason why we have communism and Sharia law about to take over this country is because you did this shit. I go, so, okay, let's say there's a bunch of Korean people out there, okay? And you want to fight this, then go fight it. Let's say there's a bunch of Filipino families out there that really doesn't like this, for their kids, then go fight it. You don't need this like Justice League of melting pot.
Yeah.
And what I told him was, I go, hey, look, I said, my friend Keisha King interviewed me. I go, I don't understand. What is it that you're looking for? Right? You go, oh, is this too many this and too many that? And I'm like, I don't care who interviews me. The show asks, I say, okay, right? I go, so I'm like, I don't understand, right? Who is it that you're complaining about? Right? So I'm like, okay. I said, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you introduce me to non-white hosts? And I will, or my team will reach out, my media person will reach out to request an interview for Alvin. Never heard from the bitch again.
He's still looking.
Still looking. And look, I'm not saying there's not like black hosts or Asian hosts or people out there doing shows. I'm not saying that. But it's really, really small. The majority of hosts that are fighting against this indoctrination or giving the platform for what we do are majority white hosts. Okay, great. But you see that mentality, that mentality blew me away. I read his email 3 times. I'm like, what is it about the media page that was so atrocious? He's like, it's atrocious. It's just all white people. I'm like, my face is on every single one. I'm like, I'm lucky I got, I'm pretty confident.
That to me, aside from his point about the people interviewing, is the funniest shit. That he's telling you that it's mostly you and it's all white.
I'm like, my face is on every single one. You're a bald white guy. How are you telling me that my media page is not diverse? And the funny thing about that is, at the time, I had just finished the interview with NTD News with Dan Ma, and
Yeah.
both of us I'm like, that's the first one that was on there. It was me and Dan. I'm
Oh,
like, oh, you fucking white guilt-filled guys, you are the most pathetic people. You
yeah.
took all this time to write me this email, and it's still to this day. Now, this has been like 2 weeks. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for him to find me a non-white host.
Uh,
You stupid motherfucker. I
but
was like,
but also the best is that after you wrote him, and you're like, I don't understand. He writes you back, and then you respond with, "We don't give a shit about any of that." I love it.
I was
And
like,
that is how you handle stuff like that, people.
That's how you handle stuff like that.
ridiculous.
Yeah, not trying to explain yourself, not anything. I just said, yeah, we don't give a shit about any of that. If you want to fight it, we fight it. If you want to fight it, you don't need anybody to be. But I go, but that being said, introduce me to some non-white hosts, and we'll be happy to reach out. I don't get this idea of this, like, you must have this melting pot, this Justice League melting pot before you can do something. If you want to go fight something, then go
If you're
fight it.
fighting it, fight it. Fight
Then
it
go
on
fight
the
it.
side of us. Like, I'm so sick of people trying to look at that aspect of anything. Just
Yeah.
shut the hell up.
We don't need representation. You don't need fucking unity. Just go move your feet, move your mouth, and go do something. So if you're whoever you are, right, whatever race you are, it's happening to your kids too. If you send them
Yeah.
to government public school, right? So they don't care if you're Korean or South African or Filipino or Japanese or Chinese or whatever. They don't care. They're doing it to your kids anyway, right? So, or you're black or whatever. Go fight it. Go grab your five closest families that you're close with, or 10, and go fight it. Go use our opt-out forms. Go to a school board meeting. Go embarrass some school counselors. Go pick out a book and read it in the school board and make them, and make them shut you down and all that stuff. I mean, you're right. Just use our opt-out form, or use our letters, or use whatever that we have. You don't need this melting pot Justice League before you do anything. And me being interviewed by mostly white hosts has absolutely nothing to do with any of it. It's just, this is the kind of people. And you know what's funny? He's actually right about that. We're at the crossroads between communism and the Sharia law.
But
He's actually right about
the
that.
wrong damn thing.
Yeah, he's right about the problem. He's just wrong about the solution.
Yeah, just get out there and do something. Like, what the fact that you would go to our website, even take the time to write an email about something so stupid.
We've got over 100 tools and 5 curated tactics for you to use to help fight. And this bitch went to our site and said, you have too many white hosts.
Stop turning all the other ones down, Alvin. God. There's a whole list of them that he's just turning down because he.
Are you white? No.
Never. We won't speak to you. What the hell?
I won't speak to you. I won't speak to you. Anyway, I don't know why I felt like sharing that story.
Because it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I had to call
PSA, we don't care about that stuff.
I called Jen. I said, hey, you gotta, I gotta tell you this story. You won't even believe.
I'm like, our media page with you all over it? Like, what?
Okay. Your media page is your website's atrocious. Like, what?
Which, yeah, screw you, dude, because it looks killer. It's good.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that we get. Those are the kind of things we have to deal with so that we can bring you not only entertainment and entertaining content, but useful content. And we deal with these fucking lunatics so that we can teach you how to deal with them too.
Which, speaking of, before we go grab that thread about Limpress Steve. Go on over there to his page, plug it in on his whatever top post that he made.
Please.
And Let's help Steve manage those emotions.
And tell him, hey, you were featured in a live stream.
Yeah.
Go watch it. It's
Yeah,
out public. Once I hit stop, once I hit end, it's going to be public.
Yep.
All right, you guys. So as always, your support, your generosity, whether you share our site, whether you share a tool, use an opt-out form, it means so much to us. If you donate $10 to us a month, you donate one time to us, it doesn't matter. It goes to our small team. It helps us be able to do, press releases and advertising and all those different things, to be able to, text campaigns and things. Helps us pay for our StreamYard. It's, it's a yearly subscription to do StreamYard. So
for our white media page. Thank you.
If you want me to do more media with white hosts, please donate to us, to our racist, please donate to our racist, hateful organization so that I can only pick white hosts. You know what? He's gonna be mad. I have a white co-host tonight. I just can't. Yeah. He's gonna be mad again. Look at you. Look at you. He's gonna hate it. Here you are in all your blondness and blue-eyedness. So if you
get me off of everything. Just act like I don't exist. Just lock me up, like, put a mask on me.
Or our store. We're the Embrace Exclusion. Announce to the world that you're done with inclusion, because a good, healthy life and a good, healthy country and a good, healthy community is about embracing exclusion, which is why we pound that mantra so much. Reject inclusion, embrace exclusion. Because if you don't, you get people like Limbrous Steve in your community, or the weird white ball guy telling you that, the media page is too white. All right. Anything else? Any last words, blonde eye, blue hair co-host?
No, make courage your habit, because courage is hot. And we'll see you next time.
Courage is hot. We'll see you next time. So remember, no matter how hard it is to speak up, if you don't stand up for your children today, they will live on their knees tomorrow. We are Courage is a Habit. We will see you next time.